Hi everyone, this is Board Games Bourbon. I'm Glenn Flaherty, and right now I want to talk to you about Dragon Realm, a very cool new game that just came out by gamewright. It plays 2 to 4 people, takes half an hour, and really what you have here is Champions of Midgard Light, including all of its expansions, and that's why I'm digging it. Now, the game itself is comprised of these dungeon cards that you're trying to go through, and ultimately the way you win the game is by having the most coins at the end. You're going to literally get coins, and you will also get stones that convert into 5 coins at the end of the game. You're going to get these by having the most presence at these different locations. You're going to get your people onto the locations by rolling dice and breaking a certain number. You are going to determine how many dice you roll by the types of cards you have and how many you play. You're also going to get special powers in the game that will let you modify what you do. So there's a lot of good stuff going on. So the easiest way to understand it is just to show you how to set it up and play it, okay? Now, let me also, before I get too far in, show you the box. You're going to get this box here. Comes with the rule set. Very easy to read. The insert is quite nice as well, holds everything in place. Okay, so when we look here, if we flip these cards over, we're going to have something called like level 1 cards. We have level 1, level 2, level 3, and then we also have a dragon, a final dragon. Once the final dragon card is defeated, and there's 5 of each kind of card, that's when the game's over, okay? Now, these cards here, when we look at them, let's get an understanding of what we're looking at here. We have the locations where we're trying to go. The level 1 cards don't have a lot of locations, okay? Like this only has 3. Likewise, the rewards are lower. This little thing over here is telling you the person with the most here is going to get 2 points. The person with the second most is going to get 2 points. There might even be goblins on your card, and they come out if you draw a goblin from the deck. Maybe the points go to the goblin. If you are the only person there and no one else is there, you get both sets of 2 for yourself. Lastly, if you are the person there, you're going to get these stones at the bottom, in this case 4. And the person at the end of the game who has the most stones is going to get an extra 5 points. It also tells you what is required to get people onto this card. And that has to do with this card over here. And what it says is, when we play the game, we're going to get a bunch of cards from over here. And I'll show those in a second. But basically, they're colored and they're numbered. If you get numbers, a sneak, which is like numbers in a row, 4, 5, 6, or whatever, you play those down, and then you get that many dice, okay? Like, let's take a look here. Let me grab my hand. Now, when we do this setup here, this is what's going to happen. Everyone's going to get 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have this draw pile where you put 2 more out, okay, for people to choose from. Then you're going to get a superpower. And when you get your superpowers here, enhancements or whatever the proper word is, you have a choice from these cards. You have up to 2 special power points. You can either get 2 1-level cards or 1 number 2 cards. Some are ongoing, some are temporary, okay? This level 1 card over here called Sapphire says at the end of the game, I'm going to get 3 coins. That's straight points. The Magic Scroll is a level 1 card. It says you'll get 4 stones. The 4 stones will count towards your 5-point bonus at the end for having those stones. This one over here says for 2 points, draw 1 card even if an explorer fails. Normally, you only get an extra card in your hand if you succeed something, but here it'll give it to you even if you fail. And I'll explain the implication of that in a moment, okay? So for me, let me just say, let me just grab this. Let me grab one more. Something. Here's one. A level 2 card. It says if I roll 2 2s, that's a level 1 card. That's even better. If I get 2 2s, I can treat them as a 5. Show you what that means in a second here. Okay, let's just say that's my 1 card I took. Now what I need to do is I need to set up my exploration deck. And you're going to do this based on how many players there are. But essentially what you're going to do is you're going to pick up this whole pile of dragon layers, which I can never get off this table without destroying my cards. And pick one at random. We're going to pick this person, but I'll show you what it is. This is called the Dragon's Lair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots. The person with the most here will get 11. Second will get 6, 2 stones, 8 to sneak in if you have cards that are in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is called a search. That's what will happen if you have cards all the same number. Number 12 here is called the storm, and that is if I have cards all the same color. So again, that is numbers in a row, all the same number, all the same color, that circle around it means I get a bonus and I can place a second person there. So we'll just choose that person. We're going to say that is our realm card. Then what we're going to do is we're going to randomly select a level 1 card, a level 2 card, a level 3 card. And depending on the number of people, you're going to keep building it like this 1, 2. And normally I'd probably stop there, but I'll put 1 extra there just to keep it nice and tidy. Get all these other cards out of the way for now. The good thing is with 5 different cards of every level, you do have a good amount of variety in there that you are going to explore. These player aids are going to go there, and now I'm going to flip these. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we have these 3 cards that we're going to try to interact with. And then lastly, we have this here, and this is the one that really reminds me of Champions of Midgard. This is called Adventurers Academy on one side, and an alternate side called Adventurers Alley, which is a little bit more robust. And this is kind of like the Valhalla expansion. So what happens here is when you put people here at the end of the game, if you fail an adventure, you put a person here, almost like they died, okay? And when they go here, at the end of the game, they're going to give you those stones to count towards the bonus, or you can put them back into your hand and it'll add a +1 to one of your rolls. So like if I'm rolling my dice, this card here says you have to break the number 5. I, of course, roll a 6. Let's just pretend I was at the 7. I roll a 6. Beforehand, had I removed a person from here, I would have gotten +1 in my roll. Over here on the harder side, it says if I remove 2 workers and a red card from my hand, which is like one of these colored cards, I can get an extra 1 point power. If I get rid of 2 workers, alternatively, and 2 coins, I can get a level 2 power. And again, anything that remains in here will be worth 1 stone at the end of the game. Okay? I think that's the more interesting side, so I'm going to leave that up. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try to play this game as if we're 2 people. I have my cards here for player 1, 4, 7, 9, 10, 11. Wow, that's really nice. Okay, so that's really good because I have a lot of the same color. I also have a run of cards right here. Player 2 is going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, pretty sweet. And their powers, they're going to take the Sapphire for extra money, and they'll take the Magic Scroll for a point. And what will I take? I have a 1 point card. I'll take this too. And this here is an Elven Harp that says, number 1, use as any adventure card, one-time use. So this is a wild, okay? And it's a one-time use. Some are long-term, some are short-term, okay? Try to put this up here so you can see what everyone's cards are going to be. Okay, so I'm going to take my first turn just to show you how gameplay goes around. And let's pretend that I am the purple person, because why not? And let's pretend this other person is going to be the blue. Put your blue right there. Now the die that we're going to roll is going to have it's not a normal 6-sided die. You have a 1 on one side, 2s on 2 sides, 3s on 2 sides, and a 4 on one side. There's no 5 and no 6. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to look at my hand. Numbers in a row, sneak. Sneak has a 6, 7, and 11. That's pretty hard. I have a better shot right now at having something called a storm, which is if I have all the same color. My store number is 8, 7, and 6. So what I'm going to do is I am going to play these 4 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, to try to go here. If I play 4 cards, I get 4 dice. Okay. And what did I just put my 2 powers over here? Good. Okay. You know what? I'm going to play this too. I'm going to pretend it's any card. I'm going to give myself 5 dice. Okay. I'm going to roll my dice. Okay. Oh, nice. I crushed it. So I have 8 right there, plus 6, 14, 15 points. Okay. So I got 15 points. I total 1. This card is gone. Okay. That goes into the reuse pile. Discard. Okay. And I totally won. Now, because this 8 also has a circle around it, I get to put 2 people there. Okay. So I have 2 out of a total 4. Okay. Now I take these 4 cards and I put them in the discard pile. Now, what that means is because I won, I get to draw one more card in my hand. So I only have 2. So I'm going to have to spend some time kind of resetting my hand here. Okay, I have a 10, I have a 5. So not much going on. On my turn, I can either battle or I can draw cards. Okay, looking over this person, I have an 8, I have a 9, I have a 10, I have a 2. I have 2 2s. That's pretty good. And again, that's a search number, 2 2s. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw 2 cards in my hand. So I'm going to grab a 10. Okay, I have another 10. Good. So now I have 2 10s, but I also have 2 greens. Draw 1. I have a 6. Okay, so what I have now is 1, 2, 3, 4 yellows, and I have a few different ways I can do that. But anyway, that's my turn. That is over. Again, I have 2 cards here. Not much I can do. I'm going to draw 2 more cards into my hand. But you know what? I'm going to draw these 2 purples because now that gives me a set of 3. That might get me going right away. I really should have thought about that over here. I draw 2 more and they're going to come out. Okay, so I have that option. And I still want to build up my, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to take these 6 that are all of the same color, or these, I said 6 because I saw the number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cards of the same color. 4 cards of the same color is called a storm. And I am going to try to go into the sorceress's castle here. That number is 7. So that allows me to roll 4 dice. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so I failed there. So I don't lose my cards on a fail. My person does go to the Adventurer's Alley. Okay, so that's 1 stone for me at the end of the game. Not necessarily great, but maybe I can get a benefit out of it. Okay, so let's go back over to this person's turn. They are going to draw 2 cards, and I drew a goblin and a 3. So when we get the goblin cards, the goblin card says here, you're going to put a goblin into the middle card if only 2 locations, a non-dragon card. Middle card, okay. So what that means is take a goblin, and now this goblin goes into the middle card. The bad part about that is it is very likely, and it has happened, that there are more goblins on a card than a second person. So there's the first winner who would get 9. The second winner is the goblin, so they get 4. And then the other person just gets nothing. So that's a real bummer, huh? So that can really get in the way. Okay, so that was my draw. That was that turn. That turn's over. I'm going to try it again to go there. I'm going to try to play these 4 one more time. Middle card. And, okay, so I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I totally did it. These cards go away. I get to place a person here along with that goblin that I blew away. And I get a replacement card. Okay, so... Okay, and this is basically how the play is going to go. What you're going to discover as you're going around is eventually you're going to fill up one of these cards. Let's just say we filled up this card here, and it went like this. Sorcerer's Castle. Okay, so purple is the most prevalent person there. They're going to get 9 coins right away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goes to them. Because the goblins is the second most common, they get the 4 points. I'm the third, so I actually get nothing from that. That was a totally wasted effort. Plus, I put one of my person over here. So sad to see people perish. So now the card goes away. Okay, so the card goes away, but this is going to go to the person who was most common at the location because they're going to keep those points at the bottom, those stones. And then it is replaced, and now a new card comes out. And you're going to just keep doing that until you finally get to that dungeon card there. And then once you do that, you figure out who had the most stones for 5 points, who had the most coins. And that's the end of it. So half an hour is about right to play that. The game looks really good. I find it really fun. This, for me, is a keeper game, even as an adult hobby player, because I think it's interesting enough and simple enough that anyone can understand it, but the choices are varied enough because you don't know, should I go for it? Should I wait? I don't want someone to come over here? Should I go for the sneak number? Should I go for the storm number? Because I go for the storm number, it's harder, it's a higher number, but I can get 2 people there. I could also try to go over here and steal 11 coins versus 5. There's a lot of things to debate. Do I want to leave my people here and grab that extra 5 at the end? Do I want to turn them in and get some extra powers? The extra powers are really cool. So anyway, without talking too long about it, that again is going to be Dragon Realm. I'm really enjoying it. This is a recommended game by me. If you have questions about gameplay, let me know. And I hope you have fun. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon.